Hey guys, Smart Ninja 000 here. Today I'm just going to show off a couple cool little things I made for a map I'm right now working on. It's going to be a speed run map. You're going to have like these cool gadgets and such, and you're just going to try and get to the end as quick as possible. So I'm just going to show off the gadgets, and I'm not going to go into how they work, but if you do want to make the grappling hook, which is what this fishing rod is, I just haven't textured it to be something cool looking. Then I did make a video on how to make it. It's not as good as this method because this method's a lot more complicated and more consistent. Um, so you can watch that by clicking the eye up in the top corner, or it should show up at the end in the end cards. So let's just get into what I made. So at the moment, we only have two different gadgets. One is the checkpoint, and the other is the grappling hook. So we're just going to start with the grappling hook. So the grappling hook, if you saw that video, normally it would be teleporting me around just kind of randomly. This new method of grappling hooks is pretty great. So what will happen is as soon as it hits the ground, you'll actually get these nice particles, and that will show you the exact path you go on. And as soon as it hits, you can actually use it. You don't take any fall damage. That's obviously preferred. It's also nice because then you can actually see when it hits the ground. There's a few glitches with it, but that's to be expected from anything. Um, so as soon as it goes into the ground, uh, I'll get pulled there. So I really like it. I think it's super cool. But yeah, again, if it doesn't get in the ground, it won't um like you have to wait for the particles because it takes a second for it to be registered in the ground for some reason. So that's the first gadget, and I really like it. Few things to know: it does keep your rotation too, which I think is super cool. You continue looking in the direction you're looking in, and obviously, it works in like all directions and such. It can get a little bit finicky when you try and do things like go up here, because your head can get stuck in the block. Other than that, I'd say it's pretty cool. And yeah, there I got stuck in the block a little bit, I think. Anyways, let's get into the next thing. So this is the checkpoint, and I wanted to make a way to add checkpoints into it, just because I thought, oh well, what if you're doing something and it's kind of hard and you might die. So I thought, oh well, let's incorporate checkpoints. But I thought, you know what, that's going to be too much work detecting where you're at, how far, and which one to bring you to. I mean, obviously, I have scores for all that stuff, and then teleport it based off your death or something. And I will probably do something for some sections. For example, if you fail parkour or something, I might teleport you back. But I thought it'd be cooler if I had something called a checkpoint. So what you do is you have this icon, and you'll notice it's a little bit buggy. I think it has something to do with the transparency. You drop it, and it will place a checkpoint. And actually, this will always face you, in that way. And then you get a new icon, which is this. And when you drop it, you will go to your checkpoint. And your checkpoint's then deleted. So you can do cool stuff like this. I love that so much. I think that's the coolest thing ever. And you can also do just, some cool things like, oh, grapple. Oh, I'm over here now, and then bam, back. So maybe, for example, if you need to go into, like one part of the cave, because it's going to take place in a cave. Just you start in a deserty area, and you have to go backwards afterwards. Maybe it'd be wise to use a checkpoint there, and then once you get whatever you need to continue, you could just checkpoint back outwards. But then you wouldn't be able to use your checkpoint until you got it, which would take away the ability to use it, which could make it more difficult. So cool stuff like that. And once you do set it, the only way to reset it is just by teleporting to it, which I really like because that makes it more challenging, I think. Some things I do want to have in this map, just since we're going to talk about it just a little bit, is the hunger. I want hunger to be actually play a factor. So you do have to stop and eat every so often. Maybe go some areas without sprinting. I don't know. Something like that. I thought that could be cool. But I want to limit hunger as much as possible. Just because the more hunger you have, the easier it is for you to regen. And I thought, you know what, let's make that difficult. So I haven't really started too much on it, just been working on this. If you have any suggestions for a third type of gadget-y thing like this, I'm calling them gadgets at the moment. If you have a better name, feel free to leave it in the comments. But yeah, if you have a better suggestion, smash that like button, then leave it in the comments. If you don't have a suggestion, also leave it in the comments. Oh, and I thought it'd be cool if we could have air, once in air, just because that way you could do some cool stuff if you, like, for example, let's say you have 2 paths to fall down. Yeah, you can teleport back. Something to note, though, if you do this is the thing that exists. I think it's kind of funny, to be honest. I'm actually... Here, wait, when I press F3, I want to fall a little bit. You'll notice I'm actually not, like, falling down at all, which I think is hysterical. What's really interesting is the 2 is staying constant, but the other numbers are moving. Just like casually talk about this. It's cool. Alright, anyways. So that's something that exists. But yeah, anyways, what do you think of this map? Leave some comments below. And would you play it? Would you try and speedrun it and stuff like that? Yeah, so yeah, it's not, I mean, I just started it. I'm still got a couple other maps. If you want to make the grappling hook on your own, well, a different version of it, then just, you know, you can click the cards on the screen now. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you thought this was interesting, and you maybe want me to do the updated one, or if you want me to do maybe a video on the checkpoints, because they are a little bit more complicated than you would probably expect. Not too complicated, but then definitely leave a comment below. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in another one. Bye.